Theft is a big problem in Alabama and Florida. Just last week, or this week rather, 20 people were arrested in Escambia County, Florida, for allegedly stealing the metal. And last night, Fox 10 News reported a copper theft arrest in Citronelle. So we wanted to know, what does law enforcement do with all this stolen copper? Fox 10 News reporter Candace Murphy found out.
Many fall victim to it. Thieves stealing copper from schools, businesses, homes, even churches. But what happens to the copper that's confiscated by law enforcement? Mobile County Sheriff Sam Cochran says, considering the number of thefts, they don't see very much of the metal.
There's not that much copper seized that has been stolen. Now, we do recover some that we know to be stolen, but usually it's without a suspect or something. If we can't locate the owner, eventually we ourselves would sell it for scrap, but that's very small amounts of that.
Cochran says when they do find copper on a suspect, it's hard to trace it back to the owner.
Unless there's some kind of special and unique markings that someone has placed upon their property, there's no way to identify it, no way to trace it back to the crime, thus no way to charge someone.
The Escambia County Sheriff's Office in Florida says they keep stolen metal for 6 months before selling it as scrap metal. And that money goes into a general fund.
If at all possible and we can locate a particular owner for any material, just because it's copper doesn't change the fact that it's property that belongs to someone. If we can return it to an owner, then that's what we're going to do.
Cochran says House Bill HB 278 will help track the copper crooks. If the bill is passed, it will require scrap metal dealers to electronically report who they purchased the metal from and what type of metal to law enforcement.
Instead of where it's being stolen from, they can investigate to see where it's being sold at and link the two together. So those selling excess amounts of stolen copper or excess amounts of copper will give them some leads on who may be involved in stealing copper.
Scrap metal employees declined to speak with us, but a man selling some metal thinks the bill will help everyone.
It'll stop them from breaking in schools, taking air conditioners from churches and things. They're hurting people.
Until then, law enforcement says it will be hard to track down the copper and the thieves stealing it. Reporting in Mobile, Candace Murphy, Fox 10 News.
And the sheriff says right now it's very difficult to prove a case against someone if you don't catch them in the act of actually stealing the copper.